Well, congratulations, you've either got yourself a deer or you've got a deer hunter friend who has gifted you some deer tallow, which is an underrated feat considering most hunters are introverts. You can take fat from all over the body or you can go near the organs, which is the most pure. I choose to do all of the above, but that's up to you. Store the fat in the fridge for up to a week or in the freezer for just about as long as you'd like. When you're ready, put it in a crock pot on low heat. That first render or meltdown is going to smell very much like a deer. And it's going to be the most time consuming too. If you have a meat grinder, I recommend running the fat through there first. It does make it melt down much faster, but I chose not to do that for this particular render so that way you can see what it looks like if you leave it as chunks. Spoon off that melted stuff and put it either into a bowl or a mold of some kind, it really doesn't matter. It will re-solidify at room temperature, and once it's solid again, you can clean your crock pot out and then put it right back in for another render. After the second render, it's probably best to run it through a mesh sieve, let it harden once more, and then melt again. On the third render, you want to run it through a cheesecloth so that way you get all the little bitty pieces out of it. If it still smells too much like a deer for you at this point, you can render it a 4th, 5th, 6th, or even 7th time. I usually stop after 3 or 4. If you are making deer tallow soap with the purpose of using it to wash yourself before you go hunting, you might want to stop after the second render. The tallow will be pretty clean and you'll smell a little bit like a deer while you're out there. If you want to smell pretty, you can absolutely add in essential oils or infused oils. I like to infuse my own oils instead of buying the essential oils. I find it very satisfying to use as many ingredients from our homestead as possible. Here are a few ideas to get you started on using your own infused essential oils, hopefully from ingredients you already have on your homestead. I didn't put it on this list, but I will sometimes add just plain old dirt and punky wood. I use that more like a cover scent for deer hunting soaps. It really is fun to play around and customize your soaps to your wants and needs. Or maybe I'm a dork, which is a very valid possibility. Now we're going to see how much our tallow weighs and then put that into a lye calculator somewhere. I will link to the one I use in the description below. That will tell you how much water and how much lye you need and about how much soap you're going to get as an end result. Once you know how much your tallow weighs, chop it up into small pieces so it melts faster and drop it back into a clean crock pot on low heat. While your tallow is melting down, it's time to get your lye ready. Traditionally speaking, lye is made with the ashes that comes from your wood stove. You would mix those ashes and water up and eventually you would get lye. The reason I'm not doing that is because I live in northwestern Montana, which means I burn softwoods exclusively. And for the lye to happen, you need to be burning hardwoods. Considering that I am not up for a 1,000-mile road trip to go somewhere where there is hardwood and then burn that hardwood and then collect those ashes and make lye. So instead, I bought a 2-pound food-grade sodium hydroxide, aka lye, bottle online. Since I need about 4 ounces of lye per big bar of soap, that comes out to around $2 per big bar of soap. Now when you mix the lye and the water, you need to be outside, wearing gloves, wearing safety glasses, pay attention to which way the wind is blowing and be upwind, and make sure that you keep your smaller kids and your pets a safe distance away from this. Add the lye to the water in very small amounts, never add the water to the lye. Do not use a metal bowl and do not use a metal spoon, and be warned that this is going to get extremely hot. There's a very strong chemical reaction that happens when the water and the lye meet, so your container is going to get really warm really fast, and for that reason I like to use Pyrex because it does seem to adjust to those major temperature fluctuations pretty well. Please just do your best to be as careful as possible during this step, get it over with, and then we can get back to the fun stuff.
What you doing? Yeah. Oh, okay. Stay over there. No. Nope. Come here.
And now we're at the point where my plans went a bit off the rails. One of you lovely people watched my Instagram stories and then suggested using part of a crayon to dye the soap. I've literally never heard of that, never tried it before, but I thought, hey, this soap is just for my personal use. My husband and kids aren't going to be using this particular bar, so let's go with it. From what I read, it looks like Crayola is the best bet since it's certified non-toxic and it's supposed to be safe for kids to eat. I'll admit my kids have eaten their fair share of crayons and they seem fine. And if it's safe enough for them to eat, I guess it's safe enough to go on my skin. We'll see. Obviously, I'm not going to be adding crayons to the cover scent or any soaps that I would be giving to other people. But yeah, we're just going to have a little fun with this. I very slowly added in the lye solution to the tallow, adding in just little bits at a time and stirring very carefully and making sure that I'm not splattering any of it. You're supposed to use an immersion or a stick blender here. I don't have one. I'm going to use my wooden spoon and stir it consistently for 15 minutes at least. We're looking for trace, which basically means that the soap is just starting to show signs of setting up. Now, I don't know why, but when I follow the instructions that other people have given me, it does not work out that great. I've been told to keep stirring until it hits that custard consistency. What I found though is that it goes from custard to mashed potatoes in seconds, and that's how I end up with lumpy soap. So whenever I start to see little bits of that soap drying on my spoon, that's when I know it's time to do a pour. And as soon as it goes into the mold, it starts to harden up. So if you have any pretty little things you want to sprinkle on top, you better do it right away within the first 30 or 40 seconds. Since mine has a variety of evergreens and peony petals, I'm topping mine with sprigs of cedar, little pieces of lodgepole pine, and peony petals. And here's the finished result. Here in a day, I'm going to take it out of the mold, and in about 2 weeks, I'm going to start using it. If you want to learn how to butcher and process a whole deer in a day and for under $30, I've got just the video for you. And if frugal homesteading is your thing, I've got just the video for that too. Okay, thank you for letting me talk at you. I'll see you next Monday. Bye!